Thank you for joining us, Gabriela from Brazil. We are looking forward to welcome you at the Holland Festival this coming June with Altamira 2042. A title that I'm extremely intrigued in because it suggests an element of futurism, looking into the future. We have some time to discuss the core values or the essence, or I'm very intrigued if you can tell us a bit more about where the project initiated and where it started from. So I was just wondering, I was going through your credit list, seeing who collaborated with you on the project, and I was amazed to see the name of the big river on your credit list, Xingyo River. Can you tell us how did the river ended up in your credit list? Because I think it's that's my take on it. It's an essential element of the whole project, and not only this project, but a lot of your work.
Yes. Well, thank you, Javier. Thank you for the Holland Festival. I'm also very happy to be here. Looking forward to be there with you all. I'm very glad that you asked that, actually, because not as many people as I thought actually, how do I say that? Notice that. And for me, something very important, when I chose to put the river on the credit list, it was because I feel she was there with me, directing this work, and I can tell you how I felt that. Yeah. But also it is a political choice and a political gesture to do that. And not many people notice that, so thank you for that. I think, Javier, my work and this research, that it didn't start with Altamira 2042. No. It did start in 2014 with another river named Araguaia, when I did another work about the women who have fought and died in the guerrilla of Araguaia, which was a very important and violent guerrilla in the dictatorship in Brazil. Mm-hmm. And then I moved to the Xingu River to talk about the Xingu and the hydroelectric of Belo Monte. So this is a long-term project where rivers are the testimonies, where rivers are the co-creators. And more than a subject, I feel, and I can only feel that after I have been to these places, after I have worked with these rivers, and after I have worked with the people who live in these territories. Yeah. What I feel now is that a river is no one's subject. A river is a language. Right. So my work as an artist is to understand and sometimes to create a language, to understand the river's language in order to create with her. Yeah. And when I also choose to put the Xingu River in the credit, is to enlighten this, is to say the river was there creating this with me. And this, for me, it's a continuation of what is the work, of what is the performance. You know, all the River Banks project is a response, an artistic response to the Anthropocene. Yeah. So if I'm trying to respond to the Anthropocene, I cannot do the same language and the same form or artistic form that took us here. So I cannot put only humans in the center of the performance and in the center of the credit. Yeah. The credit, you know? Yeah. So I try to do that in the performance. I am there. I'm the only human in the performance, but I have the speakers, I have the projectors,
The lights.
The lights, the instruments, they are there almost as a casting.
Yeah.
They're not there to serve me.
Yeah.
It's the other way around. I am there to serve them. You know?
Yeah.
So I try to make the lightning of the performance is not a light that follows me, as we usually see in theater.
Yeah.
You know, the theater is the art of the actor, of the performer.
Yeah.
And
attending.
The lights and the scenario and everything that exists on stage exists to serve the human, the performer on stage.
Yeah.
So I wanted in this performance, it was important to me not to use this kind of language, you know, the way that we have been working on theater.
Yeah.
Because this, for me, a response to the Anthropocene is in the form, is in the language, is how you approach things in the world. It's not a subject, because you can make the subject a nice subject about Anthropocene and make the same thing.
Os espíritos das águas, eles são como o vento. Você não vê, mas você sente. Você vê o vento, mas você sente. É o espírito das águas. Não é isso. As águas. Tira a venda da cara. Tira da cara. Tira a venda da cara.
Were you always able to listen to the river? Or is this something you've learned by starting the project years ago?
I think that's something I have been learning.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something that you learn and then you know, as riding a bike. And it's like it's something that you keep learning as you go, as you go to a river, as you go in the direction to the river, as you stay with the people.
Yeah.
And that's very important, because I didn't do that alone. There is many people who did this work with me.
Yeah.
And especially I want to name Raimunda Gomes da Silva, which is a riverine woman from the Xingu, a great thinker of the Xingu. And she knows how to listen the Xingu, not any river, know, she knows how to listen the Xingu.
Yeah.
And she was someone who taught me some things, but it is a continual learning process. And also sometimes, because I'm an artist, so also it is about imagining and creating together with the river. You know, I don't think I will listen to the same thing that Raimunda listens and you would listen, or this is something that you have to make your intention to see and to be seen.
Yes.
And that's what Raimunda teaches me. There is a sentence in the performance that is the only sentence that is repeated.
Yeah.
And she says, everyone, the spirits of the water was born to everyone.
Yeah.
But not everyone, the spirits of the water exists to everyone, but not everyone was born to exist to them.
Yes.
So she kind of inverts the way our culture thinks about spirits, for instance. I mean, our culture says spirits doesn't exist. I don't believe in spirits. And she says, it's you that doesn't exist to the spirits.
Yeah.
It's the spirits who doesn't believe you.
Yeah.
So how to make a life, how to make art, and how to make a theater that exists to the spirits of the Xingu,
Yeah.
and how to make a body that exists to the spirits of the Xingu.
Yeah.
And this is a relation that it needs a lot of practice, and that was the work, to take this that Raimunda is saying seriously, and understand this, and how to understand this as an artist.
Yeah.
While I'm doing a performance.
Exactly, because that's also something I would like to discuss a little bit later. But you just said, and I read it earlier in other interviews you did, that of course within the Anthropocene there is the tendency, or this notion, or the tendency of acknowledging the voices of nature. Let's add the river. Or what happens if we give the tree a voice? And I read somewhere that you said it's not about giving voices. The voices are already there. It's about it, as you said earlier, this, for me, quintessential notion of listening. Mm-hmm. Are we able to listen? Because it's already there, but we can't see, or we are not able to see it anymore, but the writing is on the wall. The signals are so clear, but we humans have, in general speaking, lost the ability to see and listen. So would you say that with this research as well, it's somehow a cry for listening again, not only to what happens around us?
Yes, I would say that.
Yeah.
Because as you said, I mean, when we formulate a sentence, I mean, as you just did, what would happen if we give a tree a voice? Mm-hmm. We formulate our questions in a way that we are still the masters.
Yes.
What would happen if we give the tree a voice? But I mean, I think all these beings, they are wondering what would happen if these human people if we could give them ears, if they just activate this very sophisticated and ancient technology of listening and seeing. And what would happen if humans did not consider themselves the center of creation? And, so I think it's all this, and as I said before, all these beings, they have voices, they are shouting, they are screaming, and they are also chanting, they are also communicating between them. They are making words all the time. They are making words, all the time. I mean, the Amazon forest, it was not a creation of God. I mean, well, depending on what you consider God, but it was a creation of ancient indigenous people who actually planted this, and ancient bird people and ancient monkey people that was spreading seeds. They were working all the time to make more life and more life and more life. And if you just look, it's very easy. Just look to the animals around you, to bees, they're all the time working for life. They're always doing something that is for life to continue. Mm-hmm. And look around and see us. We are doing so many things to destroy life. We are the only ones making things to destroy life. We are the only ones taking action and activities that are going to put us, that are that will make life not to continue, and that actually have put us in a threat of the sixth mass extinction. And but the thing is, we only stop to think when someone says it will be the sixth mass extinction and of humans. But while we are thinking about it, there is so many non-humans peoples that are already disappearing right now.
Yeah.
So many language, colors, forms of life that we will never know. So what I feel right now is that we need to advance. You know, we need to go further.
Yeah.
We need to go further. If we think about our dramaturgy.
Yeah.
In theater and as artists, what we create and what we are dive in, when you see a movie, a series, a theater, we are always seeing our dramas, human dramas, human tragedies. It's as if we live alone in the world.
It's a narrow-minded perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you go to an indigenous land with indigenous people, riverine people, with people that actually lives in the world, as Ursula Le Guin said, because all the indigenous people says, the Yanomami people says, the word to the world is forest.
Yes.
And this is true for many indigenous people. The word they use to planet or to the world is forests. So the people who lives in the forest world, they all their stories, they have the protagonism of the other beings that are around them. The relations and the dramas and the tragedies, they happen, but they happen together with all these other people. And this is a political relationship. This is it's a cosmopolitical way of living.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that we haven't created beautiful things. Of course we do. I mean, I am a worker of theater, and I was touched by this, the dramaturgy, the tragedies, the Occidental writing. I was touched by it, and it's beautiful. But we have to go further now.
Yeah.
And the way to go further is to connect with all this people who are here despite the violence that they have lived.
Yeah.
Because the indigenous people, they are alive right now. They are contemporary. They are not,
it's not a fable.
In our past.
Exactly.
You know, and they are alive despite all the violence that for 500 years they have experienced and been victim of that, and still they are.
Yeah.
Because this war is still going on.
Yeah.
Because capitalism and these colonial relationships, they are still going on.
Yeah.
In Amazonia, you can feel that very, very strong.
Yeah.
Not many has changed there, because the other part of the world sees Amazonia as a resource.
Besides, of course, presenting the work here, you will also host a series of workshops within the festival. Can you tell a little bit about that encounter? Or you've been doing these workshops in other festivals, like in Vienna. What is the starting point of this encounter that you are envisioning?
The starting point is to share the process that I have lived in the Shinru, and share some practices, some technology, some tools that were important to me, some perspectives.
Yeah.
in order to artists who are in Holland and who are relating to the river that is there.
Yeah.
Is the I?
It's exactly, yeah. And the Amstel.
Yes. Amstel.
Yeah.
So can maybe activate this ability of listening and seeing in a different perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, not only as the water who crosses your city while you are running to take the subway, or I don't know all the functions to the river.
But we as a country that is under the water, technically we always have fought the water or had to protect ourselves against the water. Otherwise, 80% or less would not be here or being conceived as the Netherlands now, because it would just be flooded. Yeah.
Yes, that's funny because I wonder what this fought the water, has to fought the water. But how is it that we do that? I mean, like creating the barriers and then I don't know. I feel that that will be the workshop, to be with women and people and trying to understand what is this? What is this fighting the water and this understanding that the water is an enemy, and what this has creates in the relation between people and the river, considering that people are mostly water.
Exactly.
Our body.
Yes.
So what does that mean to fight the water? And maybe is there another way? I'm not saying the barrier shouldn't be there. I couldn't say that because I don't know the country, and I wouldn't dare to say something like that. But maybe also, is there an offer that you can make to the water, like to kindly ask the water not to invade the city? Is that a song you can sing? Is that an offer you can make to change this relation?
Yes.
So it's kind of something I really do create the workshop while I am in the city, because it's together with the people who lives there.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was 3 years in the Xingu, and I still am there.
Yeah.
So I don't intend to say I know better than the people who are living there, and I couldn't listen to a river in a few days.
No, of course.
But
we could listen. We could at least listen to each other and listen to your experience and knowledge, and the shared knowledge that we create here together, and also the encounter of audiences, artists, curators, programmers who will all come together within the festival to at least share practice work and the body of work that you bring, in order to move somewhere, and that where to is a new way, but in order to at least encounter each other.
Yeah. And we will do together with another group. It's All Rivers Species Act.
Yes, yeah.
So it will be new to both of us, but I'm very excited to that, because this is also a practice in the Riverbanks project, is to encounter and to share and make allies and share practices.
Yeah.
And so I'm very excited also to work with them.
Well, our time is up. So unfortunately, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to continue our conversation in the festival. I would love to take you on a cycling tour around the Netherlands to show you how we have fought and embrace and love the water that we live in, but also to just see the project you will bring at the festival. So thank you for your time for now, and we'll see you in June.
Thank you very much, Javier.
Thanks.
I'm very excited also, and I would love to make this tour.
We will make it work.
Yes, yes.